I hope you hear me, and I hope the fan doesn't bother you. Are you? Do you hear the fan? Because it's just so freaking hot. I can't not have the fan on. If I turn on the AC, it's going to be louder. So do you hear it? Do you hear the? Let me know. Let me know first if the fan bothers you, but I hope it doesn't because it's really so hot. Usually the no, the fan is fine. Okay, perfect. Hi everyone. I'm gonna greet everybody. I don't think my dog is gonna show himself today because he's still not feeling well. Although I thought yesterday he was getting better, and then my mom said that this morning the poop doesn't look so good. So if he doesn't get better tomorrow, until tomorrow, I think I'm gonna take him to the vet and see what's up. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. Leah, H. Erickson, Evie, Carol Faye, Z, Leah, Angel Star, Marie, MJD, Summer, Arlene, Carol, Robin, Sinri, Darren, Dawn, Lucy in the Sky, OSP, Amari, Dawn Marie, Multistan, A Brown, Carmi, Nikon Lady. Hi, Nikon Lady. You know, for the longest time, Nikon was my camera. I never bought a Canon. And then the problem started when I started having problem with my camera, and there was no support center. In Nikon is such a snob. So okay, Lucy in the Sky, Tisa, Seda, Curb Hitter, Bora Winkle from Cali with Love, Darren, Sylvia, Mama Ja, 1415, Beth Davidson, Darlene, Lara, Grammy's Interests, Kemuning, Z, A. Brown, Victoria, Robin Carr, Halina, Personal Space on Twitch. Oh, I think I need to go live on there. Okay, I'm live on IG now. It's always a hassle for IG. Um, Summer S613, Arlise, Sylvia, Consuelo, Iris, Cynthia, Dolby, Michelle Maybell, A. Brown, Taryn, Maria, Ines, Nancy, Norisa, Shine, Lucy in the Sky, Me Too, Dalewood, Donita, Lily, Ophelia, Mensha, Nigma Price, Marina K, Tickle's World, Elizabeth Young Forever, Lisa Parker, Michelle Maybell, Multi-Stan, Bang Luna, hi Bang Luna, Nikon Lady, oh, I already said hi to you, Rhea, Anne Shoulder, Marie Lynn, Robin Carr, poor baby Debok. I know he's not. He really the energy is so down because he didn't eat for like maybe for a day and a half, and then yesterday I thought, okay, it should be fine by now because he hasn't had because that's how he usually is when he experiences problem with his tummy. He's not gonna eat for like a day or so because I think he kind of knows as well himself like how his body works. So I just kind of let him, have food whenever he's ready. But yesterday I was kind of worried, so I cooked it. Oh, Monday I was kind of worried, so I cooked his favorite, which he actually took for dinner. And then the next day he was just not fine, and then so yesterday he wasn't fine, and then but then I was like, oh, so I took him to the park. He played a little bit. He went home and then ate some more. he ate some chicken. And then this morning, when I left, after I left for work, my mom took him out for a walk. And my mom said that poop doesn't look good. So limited ingredients, bland diet food and broth. Yeah. So still have some pumpkin puree. So he had some yesterday, and then the chicken that he had was just really chicken. It didn't have anything in it. And then all the food that he eats is organic anyway. So, oh well. Let's see. Um, Hi Elizabeth Multaisan, you're me, I'm you. Hi Roxani, Lucy in the Sky, Joanne, Lynn, Rita Bell, Leah, Katrina, Becky, Evie, MLB, Donita, Lemus, Disha, Sylvia, Rolanda, Shime, Debbie. Okay, I think I said hi to everybody. Hi. I hope the weather wherever you are is better than the one that I have right here because it's really, really hot. Okay, Evie, I think she's going to talk about large BTS army fan base hating on BTS as a group as well as individual members. It's a little more serious than that. But let's get to that later. Or you want to get through that first? Um, honey will also help with upset. Oh, honey. Okay, I do have honey. That I do have. Turmeric, I have that as well. I'd like to think the guys jumped into the pool for some fun and relaxation wherever they are staying in LA. Hi, all. Hi, Carla girl. Have you tried a probiotic? I've used a Forti Flora for a few days when my pup has gotten into something. No, I have not tried that. I will try. I have honey. I have turmeric here, and then he still has some of the puree. But I need to buy. He'll finish that tonight, so I think I need to buy tomorrow morning for him. And then yeah, I'll try the honey. I think he's gonna like that because it's sweet. Is that safe for a dog? Is that safe for a dog? Yeah, it's just that he's yeah, like when you have a dog, it's like having a kid. Happy Army Day today, yesterday, depending on where you are. So it is today for us in the US because it's the 9th. All right, so we can start with hi Donna. I'm confused. What kind of BTS fan base will hate on BTS? Sorry, been focusing on streaming only. So, okay, let's start with that. Is it this? Okay, let's just start with that. As you know, I think because of the return of BTS, there's been like a slew of publications. Last month we had this whole issue about this people who decided to do a movie about armies, and apparently they ended up. It turned out they were actually a part, or at least one. I don't want to be unfair. One of the directors actually was a part of this group who was very strongly calling for the boycott of BTS because she was insisting that BTS either make a statement against Israel in this Palestine versus Israel war, or we should boycott them. She's also part of that group that asked armies to just not plagiarize, sorry, steal the content of BTS, so illegally stream and stuff like that, so that BTS doesn't earn. Okay, so that's done. Armies made their choice. I guess some armies decided to still support the movies, but then there are also armies who did not support the movies. Okay, the movie. Okay, so that's one. And then even before that, we had this book which actually started as a fan fiction, and the author is a Tekok fan, so a very very strong Tekok stan. So she's a shipper, and this original book that she had the original story was actually a fan fiction. I don't know where it was published, whether it was in AO3 or Wattpad, or I don't know. But in the original story, Jimin was the antagonist, and he was an abuser. He was abusing Jungkook in the story. physically abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive. And then she turned it into an actual book. But then she also made a very clear statement that she was sorry. I don't know if she actually said she was sorry, but she did say that the story isn't about the BTS members anymore. It was just a story that she wrote, and she managed to get a break in her career. Okay, so that's one. Of course, a lot of armies weren't happy about that. I was not happy about that, of course. Okay, so now Monica Kim is an influencer, and she was also or is a writer for Vogue. She writes for Vogue, and she was either this is not, this part is not clear to me. Either she was commissioned to write a book about BTS members and she was assigned to Jungkook, or she was assigned just something like that. But the word that she used in her posts in her IG was that she was assigned to write a story about Jungkook. That there's nothing wrong with that. I have always told you guys that personally I don't mind people with biases for as long as they are not rude or hateful towards other members. Okay, so her name is Monica Kim, and she's been a long time fan of BTS, and she's always claimed that she is OT7. So this is her post. This was on her social media, specifically IG, and she said it was an honor to be tasked. So she was assigned to do it, right? Because that's what I got from what she said. It was an honor to be tasked with this project, which celebrates the achievements of Jungkook and BTS and examines the different cultural forces that led to the rise to their rise. I spent a year re-immersing myself in the K-pop world, try to do them justice, and I hope. Okay, that was Scott. So this is also her IG account. She's not active on X, although the handle that she has is still hers, but she's not active. And if you go there, it's private, and you really will not see any kind of post. Now, if you go to her IG, it's actually dead. The link is dead. Sorry, the page is blank. So I'm assuming that she's actually pointing it to some. I don't know, but the link is blank. It's not yet. Maybe she privatized it. I'm not really sure. Assigned by who? I also am not sure. So I will. So this is the title. I'm excited to announce that my first book, The Meaning of Jungkook, The Triumph of BTS and the Making of a Global Pop Superstar, will be published this summer by Simon and Schuster. So I'm not really sure who did it, but okay. So that is the book. Okay. um, it's about Jungkook, basically. Now, disclaimer: I am yet to read the entire book. I've read 3 pages, and these pages were given to me by some people on X. Unfortunately, they don't want to be named, so they gave me those 3 pages, and that's all I have gotten my hands onto. I am planning to buy the book and to actually read, after which I will give you a review, maybe a summary on what's actually in there. All right. So that's a full disclaimer. Okay. She's a former Vogue editor, correct? She is a editor or writer or something like that. Okay. So another disclaimer is that based on those 3 pages, this I will clearly state, and I don't want people to misunderstand, she did not diss Jimin directly. She didn't say anything bad about Jimin. Okay, not bad directly. She highlighted Jimin's toxic fans. So she relayed her experience when she wrote something about Jungkook, praising Jungkook, and other fans went after her, or at least one fan, because she specifically said one fan. Okay, let's read that. Let's read that passage of the book. Okay, so before that, this book is for Jungkook. Okay, I made that clear. So in my head, when I was reading the passage, those 3 pages, in my head, like, okay, there are there are millions of things you can say about Jungkook. The same way you can say a million things about RM, Suga, Jin, J-Hope, Jimin, V. Millions, literally. You don't. you can write about them without having to mention anybody, not even another artist from another planet. That's how much you can actually just concentrate on the achievement of Jungkook. There is absolutely no need to mention another member on or another artist for that matter when if you want to praise Jungkook. Okay, so that part I don't get, probably because I haven't finished the book. I've only read 3 pages. Okay, but I just don't understand that part. Um, okay, next is, so this is the passage. I hope that you can actually read it. Let me make it bigger on my end so that I can read it for you. Okay, so this is what it says. I once had a recurring incident with a Jimin Akge. So it's one, right? Who, after I complimented Jungkook's looks in a feature in American Vogue, left hateful comments and messages for how dare I compliment Jungkook and not Jimin. The greatest irony, of course, is that Jimin and Jungkook are very close, supporting each other's solo career and accomplishments, as are the other members of BTS, who are always good to each other. Many K-pop fans lament Akge dynamics, the toxicity that drives many away and defines the public perception of the unhinged K-pop fans. Okay, so that's the part. That's the most contentious part. So I read 3 pages of this, the page before this page, and another page. Okay. So, as I've mentioned in the beginning, she did not diss Jimin directly. That's not the problem. What happened was that she decided to talk about the toxic fans of K pop fans, specifically that of Jimin. And while toxic fans are definitely an irritating part of K-pop, it is certainly not exclusive to K-pop. It happens in almost any kind of organization or hobby or art or craft, even in sports. It's just that in sports, it's so mainstream that we don't actually realize they're behaving like toxic fans. That's why you see people going into fist fights. You see fans that actually dedicate an entire house, painting them purple because that's the color of LA Lakers, having lifelong wars against Pacers because LA and Pacers are such like one big like a rivalry in basketball. So even in a non entertainment industry, it is still a prevailing practice. So and I think if at all we should shine a light on the fact that this behavior is not exclusive to the entertainment industry. It's just that in other industries, it is so prevalent and is so mainstream that we don't even bat an eyelash. Whenever we see fans going into fist fights after their team lose, we don't, it's like, oh, okay, they're bros getting into fights because it's so normal for us and we feel that it's acceptable. And specifically pinpointing and isolating K-pop fans only adds to the discrimination that non-toxic K-pop fans are actually already experiencing. It doesn't help. I'm not saying we shouldn't call the behavior, but we should also be fair and make it a point to paint it in a fair light. If we're going to talk about the toxicity of the K-pop fans, then also talk about the toxicity of all of these bros getting into fist fights because their team lost, right? So it is not exclusive to K-pop or to the entertainment industry. And if you aren't aware of that, then you're part of the problem, right? Okay. So after I read that my initial question is, why did you have to actually mention that in a BTS book? And why do you single out a member when we all know every member has a toxic fan? Every member has toxic fans. And the more popular you are, which is BTS, they're very, very popular, then you're going to have even more toxic fans. So in the book, she said it was one fan. Okay, just one fan. As an author, she should have known that it will be spun by people online. And she should have known that it will eventually go back to that member, that people are going to associate that member to the toxicity of the fandom because he was singled out. Of the seven members of BTS, why him? Does he have the stupidest fandom? Does he have the most violent, vile fandom? Why? Why single him out? I understand perfectly that it is her experience. I get that. She was talking about how her own experience. So probably she didn't experience it from other fans. But just because she didn't experience it from other fans doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And as a writer, it is your job to actually do the research. Okay. Um, so that actually was the main problem. If you are a fan of all BTS members, as she claims to be, never mind having a bias. As I've said, I'm okay with fans having a bias. That's natural. But you are a professional writer, and she's very deep into the K-pop fandom. So you would know. She should have known. She should have known that one the one decent thing that she can do, especially if she's going to make money out of the IP of BTS, is to treat each member and collectively the name of BTS with respect. That it should have been celebrated instead of doing this. I have absolutely nothing against, again, talking about the toxic fans. I have a problem singling out one member. I have no problem her talking about her experience, but I have a problem not doing enough research to make sure that it is actually clear that any other member has the same thing. Because at the end of the day, it's going to go back to the member, not to her. So yeah, that was I felt it was distasteful. Now, that's not even the big problem. The big problem is that our beloved BTS subs, the Bangtan subs, somehow got mixed up in all of this because they were interviewed for the book. They were interviewed for the book. And the book turned out to be something like that. And so a lot of fans were up naturally very upset at them. Like for the long, you have 1.3 million subscribers. You're by now you're already earning money. Why did you participate in any way, shape, or form in a book that will malign Jimin? And they released a statement. Okay. Okay. This is the statement that they released. Thank you for your replies. It has come to our attention that there was some concern regarding our team's involvement in a recent BTS related publication. Our involvement in the book was limited solely on the section that discussed our work, particularly the chapter regarding ARMY as a whole. We made no contribution to nor had any access to the larger content of the book at that time. Our team was interviewed about our work as a translation team via a set of questions sent by the author, who was interested in the origins and inner workings of our team, as well as the meaning of BTS in our lives. BTS Trans has and will always be Family OT7. Okay, so they apologized basically, or at least explained their side. So this is the Twitter profile of Monica Kim, the author of the book. And then this is another part of the book where she was quoted, and she said that there were three luxury brands that wanted Jungkook and it was Jungkook who actually said no to those brands and wanted to work only with Calvin Klein. And because she was a member of the editorial team or whatever, she used to work for Vogue in some capacity, that has some credibility. These are some of the articles that she posted, that she wrote after the publishing of the book. I literally wrote the book on Jungkook. Here are five striking things that I learned. Okay, so if you go to Vogue, you'll be able to see that. Okay, so here's my thing. Um, Bangtan's, I mean, that site and these people, I don't know who they are, but this site has contributed and done a lot for BTS. They were basically the biggest and most important marketing team of BTS in the US in the beginning of their career. Maybe not anymore, because there's a lot of other people that are doing who are doing transcription. But in the beginning, and that was a very important stage in the career of BTS, they were really devoted and they were doing it for free. They just really love BTS. They wanted to make sure that Americans would actually understand the conversations and what BTS members were saying. And so they're even to me up until now, that hasn't changed. I really cherish them and I really thank them, and I hope that their cars run forever and they will always have a warm bed during the winter and a cold one during the summer. I wish them well. I wish them prosperity and peace and health, of course. So I mean, we owe them a lot, and that will never ever change. So my tendency is to believe what they have said. And as a PR person, and also as a marketing person, and also as a resource person who sometimes gets quoted in things like this, what they got was absolutely normal. Usually, reporters or authors would send us questions or an email asking, "Hey, can you be interviewed? We're coming out with this, blah, blah, blah." And, usually when you see the name and you see oh, this person is from Vogue or from Forbes or whatever, it's easier to trust because of the publication that they are writing for. So it is an absolutely believable story. And I have absolutely no reason to doubt that they are telling the truth. So, um, different story for Monica Kim, no? So, my grace is extended to to Bangtan subs. Um, okay, I'm not saying that, oh, let's go after Monica Kim and whatever. I'm not encouraging that. Please do not do that. Leave her alone. Please don't. Let's not bully anybody online or offline or whatever. Okay. So if you don't want to read the book, just don't read the book. But please don't bully anybody. Just want to make that clear. I am against any form of hate or bullying. Okay, so that was actually the reason for my ex post when I said no to self, because really at this stage the only thing that we can do is learn, right? We can just take from the experiences of these people. And one of the things that I really, because as I've said, there are some reporters who reach out to me asking for whatever, can you do a quote here? Can you be interviewed and whatever? One of the things that I am now realizing is the importance of a disclaimer and a written agreement, especially if it is a book. You have to be very clear that you want an agreement and that whatever you say, your story, your and NIL, your name, image, likeness, and any kind of IP that you produce cannot be used in any material that will demean, will be derogatory, harmful, hateful, or incorrect about any BTS member or the group itself. And if they do, they will be held liable. I think that is one of the biggest lesson that we can all take from this entire thing, because really have no reason to believe that any member of the Bangtan subs team would tolerate this kind of behavior. I am fully convinced that had they known this, they would not have participated. It's just that they didn't know any better. They didn't know that they could actually get an agreement, that they could get a contract, that they could actually exercise rights over their own statement and their nil only if they have the right paperwork. So That is the most important, and that is also a lesson that we can apply to anything in our lives, right? Especially those that are trying to get into the trying to get into a mainstream career. Before you lend or give your IP, meaning any kind of statement, any kind of work, or your nail, rights to your nail, name, image, and likeness, make sure there is a solid, an airtight agreement that will prohibit them from using your nail and your IP in any way that you do not agree with. And if they don't say yes, they don't agree to that, then take it off the table, right? I know that some of you, some that are regularly watching my live stream and are in Patreon, a lot of you are actually C-level executives. Some of you are in the mainstream practice. I didn't know, but some of you are reaching out to me. But if you are in the future, someone's going to ask you, can you be interviewed about this, about that? Not even if it's not about BTS. Just make sure that your statement and your name, image, and likeness will not be used in any way or form that will demean or defame anybody that you hold dear or anybody in general. Because at the end of it, the long term benefit, the short term benefit, that prestige of your name being included in a book or your name being included in a publication, it is not worth the long term consequences. So I think that's the only thing we can take away from this. But also, us as a fandom, especially those that are creating content and they're actually earning from those content, um, I there's and I'm a content creator myself. Of course, we um we devote time and energy and our skill into creating content, and there's some, like me personally, I can only talk about myself. I try to add value. Um so getting paid, that is a way for me to make sure that I'm earning my keep, right? I try to provide value, but it doesn't mean that I can just say whatever I want about a group whose IP is allowing me to earn. And this is the same for all of those creators, big ones, small ones. They're already earning from BTS and the BTS members. And as I've said, I mean, they deserve to earn because they're using their time and their skill. So, but it doesn't give them an excuse to be careless, right? So it was sad when I learned about it, because as I've said, I don't doubt what they said. I don't doubt that Bangtan Subs was actually telling the truth. They simply did not know, but it doesn't change the fact that it happened. And years from now, people are going to go back to that, and they're just going to identify Jimin as an artist that or at least the haters are going to use that against Jimin as the member who attracts the most violent, stupid fans. So that's it. It was a little sad that day when I learned about it, but I hope that we can just learn from that experience. If anybody ever reaches out to you for anything, make sure that whatever they'll be using, your IP, your statements, your name, image, and likeness, make sure that you have an airtight agreement, so that they won't use what it is that you're saying into something you do not support or believe in. Okay. Okay. Do you have questions? Hi, Gemini. Books about famous people are published all the time without permission from the subject. It is so in the US, and the authors are actually based in the US. That's as far as I know. Or even in UK, you can publish a book about a person. And I discussed that in my interview with the entertainment lawyer. If you remember him, Ken Sterling, I asked him very, very clearly about that. I said, can you publish a book about somebody without their permission? And his answer is yes. For as long as you are not stealing information. If you're going to be using things that you have personal knowledge about or public information, then you can. So you can do that. They don't have to ask permission from Hybe or Big Hit or from the members themselves. I'm confused about people going after Bangtan subs for participating in a book that nobody had read and that has been deemed problematic because of a single only tangentially difficult paragraph. Um, I understand where you're coming from, but almost all issues come from one insignificant statement, right? You say one thing and that gets picked up and evolve into something that is out of control. That's one. Second is she's not a nobody. The author of the book is not a nobody. She has credibility in her name because she carries that experience with Vogue. That's why a lot of people were upset. But I also do agree that, or from my perspective, what I feel is that we still need to provide Bangtan subs grace. Ignorance is not an excuse, it will never be, and it shouldn't be. But as I've mentioned, we can't cancel anybody because of one offense. We're done with the cancel culture. We're done with that. And we know that it didn't result into anything good. So we do need to be understanding of people and also just, just provide grace. They've never done anything in the past that would give us any kind of inclination that they really are against BTS or any BTS member. As I've mentioned, they had contributed so much for BTS in the past. So I think the only thing is for us to learn. We can't take away from Jimin's fans why they are very, very upset. It is the second time. The first time is the book, the where he was used as an antagonist, and then here is another one, right? So I can't be angry. Had it been any other member, I would still absolutely understand where their fans are coming from. And even if it is just a one time thing, it will still be understandable. So but I the only part that I will disagree with what you said is that it is an insignificant part. It's one problematic part because that's where it all starts, just one sentence or one word or one whatever. But yeah, I yes. So I've said my piece. Yeah, I will never read a book that doesn't involve BTS or a member. It just feels wrong. You're not writing information about them that I don't already know. True. Bang Luna, I agree, but unless I misunderstood, Hybe was aware of the book and provided a statement. I don't know if Hybe actually provided a statement. That I don't know yet. I am planning to buy the book and to actually read it. Or if someone lends it to me, then I'll probably read it. Um, I just don't know when I can do that. Yes, unauthorized autocorrect got me. Sorry for okay. Um, Hi Gemini. Now Tickle's World. Now that author should have just said another MBR's fan instead of name. That was my point. I really don't understand why that part. It really puzzled me. Like there's so much you can say about Jungkook that will even that are way more important, way more important than mentioning his toxic fan, and it was just one fan. So I really don't understand that. Now, could it be because it is necessary for the context of the book? Maybe. I haven't read the entire thing yet. Maybe. But then why Jimin? Why can't she just specifically say, a member, right? If you're into the fandom, then you would know that the one thing you should avoid is try to paint anybody in a bad light, especially if you don't have to. So there. Okay, good night. Had to do errands. Good night, Lily. Monica is a bottom feeder feeding off BTS. I will absolutely not purchase anything related to her so-called journalism as it relates to BTS or any other topic. I think that she's just as toxic as the fans that she's talking about. Um, on the lower right hand corner of the book, an unauthorized, unofficial, unauthorized unofficial publication. Are people mad just because it's just about JK if they can identify themselves as solo artists? So no, it wasn't about that. It was the book was just about Jungkook. That's not what the Jimin fans are upset about. They're just upset that he was single, that he was specifically mentioned in relation to toxic fans, because it felt like he was the only, and there was not even a disclaimer that other members also had toxic fans, or the toxic fans is just a part of the K-pop industry. There was no disclaimer and nothing like that at all. It was just mentioned that I hadn't experienced a recurring argument or something like that. um the haters will target Jimin with or without Monica Kim. They will create their own narrative. They will create their own twisted stories and get ups. I feel like some people in the chat have never heard of an unauthorized biography. Yeah, so I've mentioned it earlier. You can write a story or a book about somebody even though the other person does not consent. I feel like some segments of the fandom are quick to pack attack to defend BTS. These reactions don't help the situation. Wow, gonna have to rewatch from the beginning later. What did I miss? How is my precious Jimin involved? Um, okay. I'm not paying for unofficial BTS stuff except for a couple of magazines I found at Sam's Club. Also, hi, first time to make it to the live, finally found one. Hi, it's me, Mel. Okay, Fairlane just spoke the truth. So if you can publish without permission, then does that apply or will apply to AI as well? What do you mean? That AI can write a book? Yeah, AI can write a book. Or are you saying writing about somebody is one thing? Claiming that you're writing something that they allow you to write is a different thing. So in the same breath, if I sing Jimin's song, for example, uh, I can do that. I can just sing his songs. But if I say I'm singing it and he allowed me to sing it, that's a lie. You can't do that. Or if I'm pretending that my voice is his or something like that, that's not good. I mean, that's not allowed. Not only that it is not good, but it is not allowed. So you're not supposed to pass your work as someone else's. Does that make sense? Um he's not involved. The author talked about toxic fan who claimed to be his fan. She should not have mentioned his name. I guess I will become a toxic fan now because I will be joining those that goes after her. No, please don't. Don't please don't. It's not worth it. The better way, like if this happened, this is what I'm talking about. It is more beneficial to BTS, or if you want to be specific to Jimin, to support him or posts that hype him rather than going after this girl. If you go after her, the algorithm is going to think, oh, she's popular. We're going to push her more. So you're just going to make her more famous when it's the other thing that you want to happen. So it's not worth going after her. The best revenge is to do well. So if you want to get back at her, support BTS and support Jimin. So please don't. Okay. I hate cancel culture. It has harmed societies. Yeah, I don't agree with cancel culture. But why do they need grace? There is no evidence that the book is generally problematic. Who you mean? Are you talking about Bangtan subs? There is no evidence that the book is generally public. Well, there is. There's evidence that it is problematic. Well, unless you don't mind Jimin being identified as the one member who has toxic fans, then you can say it is not problematic. I don't usually join live stream. Hi, Luan. The way she presented everything, it seems like only JK get all luxury brand deal. Brand doesn't run after other members. Um, I get what you're saying, but I also do get that at least she was commissioned. She was assigned to Jungkook. So the story that she was telling was about Jungkook. So I get it, right? I get that she would say that. I would like if she said in the entire book that Jungkook is the best, whatever it is, what kind of whatever praise he wants to throw at Jungkook, I'm fine with that because that specific portion is for Jungkook. And I'm all for that. If you're going to write about one member, you just make it about that one member. You absolutely don't need to use any other member or put any, actually, not even just a member, like any other artist. You don't need to put any other artist down just to hype your favorite, right? It's not it's not going to do any, it's not going to add any dimension or layer to what you're saying. So I don't have any problem about that. Um yeah, it's just that really find it unnecessary that she mentioned one member. And it gets blown out of control. Words have meaning, and if you have a platform, you have to be careful. My platform is small, but I still have to be careful with the words that I use. No grace here. No, please, Dale, just support Jimin. People are going after Bangtan subs and trying to cancel them. um yeah, not a lot, not a lot, I have to say. Some are also like, even some Jimin fans are saying, okay, warning, don't do it again or something like that. That's why I'm just trying to highlight the lesson that we should learn from this experience rather than anything else. And like in this last, I would just say this last 12 months, I think we've learned about how, number one, we've learned about people that are simply using BTS for clout or for money. And we've also learned about people who are closet hater of a member, or, things like that. So I think that's what it's more important for us to learn from that. Let's just make sure that whoever we allow to use our statement or our name, image, and likeness, make sure that you have an airtight agreement stating that they cannot ever use your name, image, and likeness, and or your statement in any shape or form that would be harmful, hateful, or would just be flat out lie about BTS or any of its member. You know. Okay, I'm gonna go some way behind the chat. A big part of the issue with Bangtan subs involvement is that so many of the biggest OT7 fan base accounts have been moving weird towards Jimin. Best way to snuff negativity is just to not buy the product, hype the original content that comes directly from BTS. What is Bangtan subs? Bangtan subs is an OG translator account. So in the early days, and I'm talking 2013, 2013, when the world wasn't even aware of their existence, they were already starting to translate. They were already not starting to, they were already translating BTS content to English. So they were like, for us that were living here in the US, they were our go-to, right? We will wait for their translation for us to even understand what the boys were talking about. So they were a huge help, absolute help, huge help. And in those years, especially during before this whole Twitter thing started and stuff, when really all they were doing was translating. That was it, nothing else. Um they would post about like other activities of BTS, but primarily they were really just translating things. So this is OG. Yeah, I would say like they're my contemporary because I was here 2013. They were here 2013, and I think that was like they started the month that BTS started. Yeah. Um, okay, no need to get involved. Let Jimin's toxic fans take care of it. They're always willing and ready to attack others for every single thing said about Jimin. What happened to our community? Really, too many people want to gain benefit from us without the morality. Yeah, so I think let's just learn from it. That's one. Let's just learn from it. Let's make sure that if anybody asks us any kind of question, or if they want to use us as a resource person or whatever, um make just have a simple agreement, just that you can't use whatever it is that I'm going to be providing you, information, photos, or anything, and my own name, image, and likeness, to demean, to be hateful towards any member. Yeah, And it doesn't even matter. So there's a Hague Convention. So that's the Hague Convention is just really a convention that happened in Hague, where different countries came together and they all agreed that basically in different industries, trade, other things, contracts, they will honor each other's contracts. So, for example, one clear example would be the contract of New Jeans with Hybe, oh, sorry, with Adore. So, because of the Hague Convention, that contract is going to be honored in the US. So, Universal Music, for example, shouldn't just say, okay, New Jeans, sign a contract with us because your contract with Hybe or Adore only works in Korea. So, because of that Hague Convention, countries are agreeing we're going to honor the contract in your country but you also need to honor the contract in our country. So somebody like Ariana Grande, I'm just saying, just an example, Ariana Grande can't go to South Korea and sign a contract with SM Entertainment. Right, she can't do that because she's already signed with somebody else. So it has to be mutual. So you'll have to honor our contract and we will honor your contract. That's kind of how it works. And it was for everybody's benefit because you don't want artists or people to be jumping different countries and then signing different contracts with different. So if you have an agreement, if you sign a contract with somebody even from across the Pacific Ocean, for as long as that country, for as long as that country is a member of the Hague Convention, then your contract will be honored. So, for example, if I provide a statement to somebody in South Korea and then they damage the reputation of BTS using my statement, I can go after them, even if I'm not Korean, and even if the contract was signed in the US. Okay. I still use Bangtan subs to check if the English subs are correct. Um, I agree that the shipping is a source of discord among solo fans, but also OT7 fans. Okay, every member has toxic solo fans. JK's call for him to quit BTS all the time. Oh yeah, they just sent like a truck. So yes, last week they sent a truck and they sent it in front of Hybe, and in that truck it actually says that they want Jungkook to go on a solo tour and leave Hybe. So yeah, every member has toxic fans. I mean, I'm a recipient of the toxicity all the freaking time, right? Because it's easy to get in touch with me. My email is all over the place. I have different social media. So if I actually decide to publish all the hate, I could write at this stage, I can actually publish a book of the best insults, right? Okay, like the best insults I got from toxic fans. Here are the top 10, top 1,000. I can probably publish a book and earn from it. Maybe I should, like, right? Like at least monetize the hate. So a friend of mine actually told me like pick the funniest insults that I and then just publish it. Maybe I should. You wouldn't believe the amount of hate that I get on a daily basis. Some of it are just funny. And some of it are just like, oh my god, horrendous. Like if I take this seriously, if I'm like not mentally stable, oh my gosh. I should probably publish a book about them. Okay. Okay, so do you have questions about that? So I really, really would encourage you to just leave the person alone, the writer. Ignore it. That's the best revenge. And then just if you want to make up for what they did, just support Jimin. Just support Jimin. When I would 100% read the book if you wrote. Oh my god. I think maybe I should. At least monetize the hate, right? You know, it's already there. I'll just block off the the email addresses of those that email me. Or some of them would DM me on Twitter, sometimes on IG. Sometimes they would actually this are the best ones. They would actually pay for a membership in Patreon just so they could DM me and curse me to death. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is the the monthly fee a little too small for you to be able to to be willing to pay for it, just so that you they want to make sure that I actually am able to read it. Because on Twitter, on X, there's two layers of screening. So there's like, I guess it depends on the reputation of your account, but those that often get reported, you get buried if you don't know me. I mean, if we're not connected, or you're not following me and I'm not following you, and you send me a direct message, X will actually put you in a separate bucket. And I don't usually go to that bucket, because it's like, I what for? I already have enough messages here to deal with. And I guess they want to make sure that I'm able to read it, so they will actually go to Patreon, pay for 1 month membership, and then they will, just so they can curse me, and they make sure that I can actually read their curses. I was like, wow. Okay. um Support all members. You are army. Support just one. You aren't army. You should publish a book of responses and print it like a book of poetry. You're giving me ideas. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Pay to hate, the new platform. Do you want to do that? Like, you're not allowed to be here unless you're gonna hate on someone. Here are our creators. Please hate on them, but you gotta pay $100. So, is the hate worth $100? Is the question. um. Okay. No, no, they're onto something. Publish that book. Wouldn't even take you too much time for you to actually select them and publish the book. Get that bag. Don't give them a shot, and don't give them a shout out. Um, if you publish it, that book might just serve as an eye opener to toxic fans. How to ice and funny they have been. Fairlane poetry book co-written with Namjoon. How to poetically respond to hate. How's that? Oh my god, I have so many. And I don't usually delete them. I'll just leave them be. I don't usually delete them whenever they send me a message. And even on X, maybe if I open that bucket, I'll probably have more. I'll think about it. And then the funniest one, as I've said, are the ones that would actually like pay just so they can curse at me. Okay. How embarrassing for the haters. Okay. There's maybe we should move on. There's a lady who sings songs made up of graffiti on bathrooms walls, so a book of poetry for toxicity. Maybe I should also find a musician that would put the all these hate messages that I get into a song. Oh my god, maybe I should do that. It's probably faster, right? Go for it, I'll buy it. We have to come up with good title for your hate poetry book. From the Hall of Hate, the Ignorant Rome, a book of hateful comments. Okay, maybe I will. I just need to gather all of them. So many. I'll make you like my, what do you call that when when you're doing the first like reading of a book? You can call it what Mom June say. I would go the Yungi route and ignore them. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next topic. Which one do you want to do? Let's do news and updates. Where is my news and updates? I think this one. Oh no, that one. At Nikon, I think there needs to be a clear definition for solo stands, because we all have different definition. Usually when I'm so for me, I know you're asking Nikon. I'm responding. For me, for as long as if they're just like a fan of one member, they're just a solo fan for me. I'll just call them like a solo. But then there's also like those toxic solo fans that would, fans that would actually wage wars against anybody who does not think that their favorite is like the best in the world, right? Like that would spew hate and threat people, and the toxic ones. Then I would usually call them the toxic fans. So either toxic solos or toxic shippers. um and those are two different things, by the way. The toxic shippers and the toxic solos, sometimes they themselves fight, especially because, like, for example, um who are the more popular, like, let's just whatever, one toxic shipper, or at least like a fan of a solo member, a toxic fan of a solo member. He hates it, or that fan would hate it when her favorite or his favorite gets mentioned by the shippers, because he or she feels that they're just going to invite hate. So for me, those are two different categories. Okay. The block button is hot on my Twitter. I seem to miss a lot, almost all the drama, which is nice. That is very nice. I call shippers sexual harassers. Actually, there are shippers that I don't mind, for as long as you're just doing it for you. Like, don't put it out in the world, right? Like, I've mentioned this before, like when during the drama of Juno and Yuna of Girls' Generation, they were such a cute couple. So I was like, oh, this is such a cute couple. I hope that they actually become, like, they would actually date. I don't tell the whole world that I want them to date. I just watch their drama and I feel happy when I'm watching their drama. So, and for me, because I don't care about the gender of the couple, even same sex gender, I mean same gender couple, for me they're fine. But the minute that you start, you know putting malice in everything that they do, and waging war against anybody who doesn't believe your ship, that's when it becomes problematic. For me, just keep it to yourself. If it helps you in one way or another, fine. Just keep it to yourself. I don't need to hear it. Don't wage war against anybody who doesn't believe in what you're saying. If you feel like, oh, if you feel like saying it, like, oh, they're so cute, they're so cute together, okay, fine, they're cute together. Again, just don't sexualize them publicly. Whatever, your head is your head. So keep it there. If you can keep it there, then we're fine. So fine. Okay. The effort they put to be toxic and hateful would have been put to good use in hyping up their favorite. Correct. The Lulu shipping in our own brain is very different that becoming a whole issue online. Yeah, I mean, it's fine for me. It's for whatever it is that you want. That's your brain, that's your mind, that's your life. I don't care. You also, I don't have any domain over how you think or how you feel or whatever, but in the same way, you also don't have domain over how I feel. If I don't believe in it, then that's none of your business. And if you believe in it, then that's also none of my business. So, just keep it to yourself. If that helps you survive in any shape or form, whatever, go for it. Just keep it to yourself. Don't put it out there. Don't sexualize them publicly. Don't insist that they are true. And if they are, then good for you, but that is something that they will decide, right? They get to decide that, not us, not them, not you, just them. Okay. I like the subunits. Well, that's one of the things that I've decided, because I've mentioned to you before that I don't want to give the haters power over my language or power over my content. So all this, like, subunit names, I'm reclaiming them, because I really avoided using unit names like G Cook, for example. I don't like using it because people are gonna come after me, especially those that believe in another ship. But later on, I realized, like, why am I giving you power over my language? Like, who the hell are you to dictate how I'm going to be talking? You don't have that right. So for subunit names, I'm just using it freely. If I want to call them whatever, I'm going to call them that. So no more control to the shippers. Okay, wait a minute. Where's my, oh, there. I'm not a shipper. I also don't care if you ship as long as you are not posting it everywhere. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, please like. Oh, where is my? I have a caption. Please like the video. All right, let's talk about some news and updates. Happy Army Day to everybody. Happy Army Day. It's our birthday. Happy Army Day. As you know, Jimin and V posted something on Instagram. So please go to on we sorry on Weverse. So please go there and interact with their post. I don't know if it's still up, if you can still like, but I'm pretty sure you can still leave a comment. Okay, so happy Army Day to everybody. We are adolescents now. Right, or past adult pre oh no, teenagers. Okay, so there's a pop-up. That's one of the huge things to announce. There's an LA pop-up for Jin. So if you want, if you spend, that's here. Wait a minute, let me remove myself. If you spend, let me remove this. So if you spend $250 or more and receive, and you will receive an exclusive LA pop-up wristband. You can also get a commemorative gift just for visiting, enjoy special photo zones, and then I've been talking. Sorry, I pressed it because I coughed. Okay. So I'll repeat what I said. There is an offline event for Tampa. There is a night market. So I feel like they are going to create an event in every city that they're going to be stopping. Um, so this one is for Tampa. I hope that you do that they also have an event for New York and for California. So this is a night market event. So it says you are cordially invited to the offline event, Army Night Market in Tampa. Enjoy and mingle with fellow Army before the concert at the Army Night Market in Tampa. Try some of Jin's favorite dishes, receive a special gift, enter a raffle, and enjoy Jin and BTS music all night. You do have to sign up. Um, before you're actually able to go. So you go to Weverse for you to sign up. Wait. So you do have to buy US membership for you to be able to apply. So if you do not have a BTS US membership and you still wish to attend, you're still eligible to apply to this event at the link below. A limited number of non-US membership holders will be selected to participate. So please sign up. Go to Weverse. When I visited, when I saw this, they literally just posted it. So I don't know if you guys already got or you managed to go to um, Weverse. So go there. You can apply. Actually, so the Dallas game night, I actually applied. I'm not going. So now I'm thinking like, if I get in, what am I gonna do? So this is the same thing here. I'm like, I really want to attend the night market. So I don't know. Okay. But I hope they do one. I feel like in every city where Jin is stopping, I think they're trying to do like a special event, which is very, very Gen. He really is reinventing how they actually do concerts. So try to go if you can, and then just do, shoot videos. Okay. Next, there is a gold membership. So I don't think you're like, they said that if you've been a member, if you've been a paying member for a while, then you're eligible to actually get the gold membership. And I'm like, I should get this freaking membership because I've been an official member, a paying member, since they started this. I would feel really bad if I don't get it, but I don't know. But if you've been a member, if you've been a paying member for a while, then you are very much qualified to get gold membership. I don't know what the privileges are. I think it's just like an icon or something, or a medal or a special gift, something like that. This gold card thing, I don't get. I also don't get it. This not like, I was reading through the benefits, and it's like, I think it's just really like for prestige. They just want to give you like, your card is going to be gold instead of like the usual. You got mine? You got yours? Anne? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I got mine yesterday. Oh, there's a lot. 3 consecutive years, Martha. I haven't checked mine. Maybe. Or maybe not. Also, our matinee is now the longest charting song. The Seven is the longest charting song by a K soloist on both Billboard 200, 102 weeks, and Billboard Global Exclusive US 103 weeks in history. Imagine, he's been there 103 weeks, 102 weeks, and 103 weeks. That's our matinee. Congratulations to Jungkook. Like, for him, there's always something to celebrate every week. And here, so last week, he got the most engagement. V got the most engagement above Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter and SpaceX and Tesla, and above Blackpink, who actually just started their world tour. So congratulations, V. And all he did was attend one event. Imagine if he attended more events. He'll be like 21 million engagement or something. Um, okay. So, and then K-pop soloists with most songs over 100 million streams on Spotify. Jimin and Jungkook are tied now, 17 songs. August D or Suga, J-Hope and Taeyong each has 12. And then IU and Jenny, 9. Lisa has 8. Jin and RM has 7. John Somi and Rose. I was surprised with John Somi. 5. And then Psy has 4. CL, J Park, Jisoo, Lihi, Loco, Punch, Taeyang, and Taeyeon, 3. Are you proud? Are you proud of our boys? Okay. So we just, if we can push this other guys higher, that would be great. I'm sure that Jin is on his way. Well, J Hope is on his way with more songs to, because he's gonna release an album, so he's probably gonna get more 100 million. So, but I hope that we can push them more. Okay. I didn't get the new membership. It's been a week. Oh, yeah, maybe I didn't get it. I will join you in our mystery. Okay, and then I don't know if anybody of you, if anyone is actually a TXT fan, but they do have a world tour. Allegedly, these are the dates, and she based it on the official ads run by AEG. So I'm not sure if this is accurate, but if it is true, then I'm planning to attend the BMO Stadium concert. So this will be my first. Could you imagine? This is going to be my first TXT concert. So I'll watch BMO if this is correct. So I hope to see you. Is there any TXT fan here? Why is Jin Young and Namjoon number 5 only? I know, right? They should have more. That's what I'm saying. We should have more, 100 million for them. So let's keep on streaming. Is J-Hope doing an album? He said it was a 3-song project and they're all out now. I I remember in one interview, I can visualize the interview, but I don't know the title of the show, where he actually said that after the 3, he's gonna start preparing for his album. Now, he didn't say when. So it's very very possible that he's going to prioritize the album of BTS before he releases a solo album. Let's see. Do you know anything about being a member of the? Yes, it's part of what I'm going to be discussing. My kids love them, and we've seen them 3 times. Oh wow, this is going to be my first. So I hope this is true because I'm available on this date, and they're going to Dallas. So yeah. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try to go. I'm scared for ticketing. Is it like you also like battle the entire world for their tickets? I have absolutely no doubt that they're gonna sell out BMO. I'm actually surprised that it's just BMO. I think deserve to like go to a bigger venue. But knowing High, they're probably being careful. Maybe in the next tour it's going to be stadium. I was called a fetus MOA by some MOAs on a Discord server I'm in. Yeonjun is my bias. My bias is Bomgyu. Is TXT based in the US? No, they're not. And then this is your emotional picture, emotional support picture of the day. Our leader. How sweet is that smile? I actually posted this on Patreon when I saw the picture. I'm like, oh my God, those are sweet dimples, right? That's such a good smile. So that's your emotional picture of the day. But because I'm nice, here's another one. The two first members of BTS, Suga and they've lived together for 13 years. Just in case you don't know, I'm gonna remind you because if I don't, then they will. So they lived together for 13 years, Suga and Namjoon. Isn't that sweet? Imagine having a friend that long. You need that. I love this picture of V. Oh my gosh, I love this picture. I always love pictures that captures the artist in their like when their guards are down. He's obviously in a shoot somewhere, and I think he's headed like maybe he's getting into he's on his way somewhere. But I love how everyone is blurred. He's in the center and he's looking straight at the camera that was taking his picture. Because it's so poignant. Like he was able or she was able to capture something very very intimate in this moment. So I really love this picture. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best I've ever seen. And it's not even a close up, but it's not even a tight shot. But I just love how he was or she was able to capture V in this moment when his guards are down and in transition it seems that he's going to from one place to another. So I absolutely love that. I love it. And of course there's Suga, the savage and the sweet, because I want you to have like a complete experience. So you have the sweet Suga and you have the savage Suga. Love the candid photos, very editorial shot in motion, right? V's last day in Paris, people said he had green hair and half shaved eyebrows. I know he had like a slit in his eyebrows. Is that from Nuna V? I don't know. Her signature is not on the photo. I thought he was holding an ice cream cone, but then realized it's not his right hand. Oh, this one, yeah, that's not his right hand. I miss this guy. Before you judge, okay. All right. Next is so the Recording Academy actually offered. So they sent out the offers to singers that they're inviting. Basically, they sent out the invites for the class of 2025. They will become voting members of the academy. This is a big win for Asia and also for Korea specifically because there's a lot of new Korean members. Okay, so one of that, because she's my bias, she's the first in my list. So this is Yujin. She is now a member of the academy. I'm sure she's going to accept the offer. She's going to be a member of the academy for as long as she keeps paying the annual fee, then she will be able to vote. Congratulations to our Yunjin. I will discuss how people actually get accepted. So, but I'm so happy for her. She absolutely deserves this. She's a great songwriter, a great performer, a great artist. She absolutely deserve this. Okay, I love it for her, and also because this is where she grew up. So I'm sure that she's an American citizen. So I'm sure that this actually means a lot to her because this is her also her country, next country, well, another country. Okay, and then Yeonjun also got an invitation from TXT. Also, very very much deserved, right? Okay, congratulations to him. And then Vernon of 17 also got an invitation. And then Woozi, Woozi is I think that's right pronunciation. So he also got an invitation to be a member of the academy. And also next is Zico. He's also now a member of the academy. I think there is a welcome like party for these people, and then of course Cat's Eye. I wasn't really surprised. They are based in the U.S. They're making waves, and they do represent diversity. So I wasn't really surprised. And of course, they're good. They're good artists. So I wasn't surprised that they actually got an offer. So they're not. I'm sure they're going to accept it. I'm sure they all are very excited. So how do you actually become a member of the academy, become a voting member of the academy? Just want to make it clear that anybody can be a member, but not anybody can be a voting member of the academy. Okay. All right. So how do you become a voting member? So you should have at least two fellow music professionals submit letters of recommendation on your behalf. So you just have to ensure both recommenders refer to the exact email address you plan to use for your membership so we can link that to you. So, for example, for Yunjin, for example, if because Bang Shiyuk is a member, and then the other could be Scooter Braun or a member of BTS. As long as she gets two, then she is qualified to get the invitation. So after the recommendations are submitted, they will receive an email to complete their application form. So they will still have to do an active action for them to become a member. And then both recommendation forms and the application must be submitted by March 1 of each year. This means that they've already before March, these people already got the recommendations from two different music professionals, not necessarily artists, for as long as they are two music professionals. So March 1 was the deadline. And then this actually, in the spring, the peer review panel reviews all submissions and selects the new members, the membership class of 2025. So after March 1, all the way until July, they review, they make a decision who should become a member, and they send out the invitation. So when they announced the that these are the members, the new members of the academy, it means that the this artist already accepted the invitation by the academy. So everything else will just be formality, but they already are members of the academy. Okay, so membership approval is at the sole discretion of the Recording Academy. So they have a panel. It's a huge panel, and it's not just one group. Remember, on a yearly basis, they get a lot of recommendation, thousands upon thousands of recommendation. And you don't necessarily have to be a US citizen, or you don't even need to have like a very active US career. For as long as you're doing some sort of a practice in the US, you can be a member of the academy. So this year, I think 49% they're actually women, and 49% and women and people of color, and they're very proud of that because they want some diversity. So congratulations to them. They are going to I think there's an opening, like a welcome party of some sort. So if you want to actually see this, so let me open it for you. Wait a minute. Okay, let me open the link for you so that you can see it. It's starting to get a little cooler now. Is Chris Martin an academy member? I wonder if he submitted a letter. He is a member of the academy, correct? Chris Martin, the whole band, not just Chris, but the whole band. Okay. Screen membership application. Okay. So there's like a membership process video tutorial. Both members and non-members of the Recording Academy can make a recommendation. So anybody who's a music professional, even if you are not a singer or a sorry, oh, yeah, even if you're not a singer and you're like a guitarist, for example, and even if you're not a member of the Recording Academy, you can still submit the recommendation. If you're a current member and would like to, wait a minute, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Okay, great. If you're a current member and would like to recommend a candidate, you can just visit us. There's a link. And then if you're not a current member but actively working in music, you can click here. So there's a process. So all of that, they actually laid out how to do all of this. Usually, though, so you begin your membership submission. That's how then you complete your professional application. So yeah, they laid it out very, very clearly. So usually, though, I'll let you in on a secret. If you have a label, any kind of label, especially the big ones, there's actually a group whose sole um, job is to do things like this for you. So they get opportunities like this for you, like become a member of an organization, become a member of the academy, or whatever, or they get awards for you, things like that. That's their sole job. Not their sole job, but a part of their job. So most likely this singers, someone else actually filled up the application for them. That's my guess. So a lot of the things that you see, so this is a well-kept secret in the world of PR. A lot of the awards that you hear, like best company, for example, whatever, those are paid awards. Meaning, you don't pay to win, you do pay to enter your entry. Just like the academy, you do need to pay. So once you get accepted as a member, you do need to pay yearly to keep your membership active. Yunjin is on the welcome video. Correct. She's on the welcome video. That is their job, and you should fire them if they're not doing well. Why do we still care about scamming? Well, for example, for Yunjin, because she was born and raised in the US, I'm sure she still cares for it. The same way in my country, if I get recognized by whoever in my country, even though I hate them, it was because that's my country, right? So it would still feel good knowing that this company or this people from my own country, they're recognizing what I'm doing. So so I'm sure for at the very least for Yunjin, this means a lot because this is where she's from. Like you pay to get a Hollywood star. Yes, you do need to pay for a Hollywood star, but you also need to get accepted. So just because you're actually applying to get a Hollywood star doesn't necessarily mean that you will get one. Okay, next. BTS among so they were class of 2019. So BTS was actually the first Korean act that became a member of the academy. 2019 was the year that they became a member. So each member became a member. Each BTS member became an academy voting member and Bang Shiyuk. So I don't know if the other, like the producers and wherever, like P Dog, if they're already a member of the academy, but it's actually amazing that they offered each member a membership. I won't be surprised if by next year more K-pop stars actually apply for a membership. I'm also sure that some of K-pop stars that have a US label will also apply for a membership. And if they get recommendations from executives, they probably will not get turned down. So I just want us to celebrate this moment because this is a huge thing, right? Again, BTS was the first one, and then there's a slew of other HYBE artists. Let's not forget this moment because they were the first ones. But I'm sure by next year, more members will try to get in. Like more K-pop stars are actually gonna try to get in. Okay. Grammy also wrote a great piece of BTS and each member individually. Okay, maybe it was J-Hope. P-Dog is not a member. Okay. Robin Carr, yes, since 2019. Yes, since 2019, they've been a member of the Academy. So they were the first. It was a huge news when they actually became a voting member. So again, you can become a member even if you don't vote. You can just pay, you're a member. But for you, if you want to vote, that's a different story. Okay. Um, all right, next. ATEEZ renewed their contract. So they renewed for another 7 years. So they probably really like, they probably have a really good relationship with their label, because it's 7 years. It's not like another 3 years or another five. It's actually another 7 years. So congratulations to KQ Entertainment. I know that ATEEZ, like, they're successful. They are a very, very successful group. So congratulations to them. BTS paved the way. I know. That's why I'm just I want us to remember this moment. 2019, they became members. And then this year, there's a slew of HYBE members. And I'm sure that next year, more K-pop stars are going to try and become a member. And there's going to be a fan war saying that, oh, my favorite actually got this organically. Your favorite actually got paid for the membership because it's Scooter Braun or it's whatever. So remember this moment. Let's celebrate it. And then next year, there's going to be war. All right. Is Bang going to jail? No, that's going to be my topic after this one. All right. I'm almost done with the news and updates. Next is probably a good offer. I don't know if there's any showels here, but Onyu is going on tour. If you are a shower, maybe you wanna watch his concert. So these are his dates. I don't see anything here in the US, but if he does, I'm gonna try and watch him. I do like them. So okay, Shiny is his band. And then of course, Cat's Eye will also have their tour, and they're going to start November. I'm going to watch them. So they have a date in LA, and it's going to be December 12th. So yes, I will be watching them. I hope that you guys watch as well. Let me know. Maybe we can meet before the show. And then Hybe is launching an audition. So for this, the audition is going to be international, and it's all going to be for all of the labels. It's not just for one label, all labels. So if you know anybody who wants to apply, it's your chance. You're going to see them in Boston. Who, TXT or Cat's Eye? Do they have enough songs for Cat's Eye? My guess is that they're going to be releasing a full album before December. So that'll be a part of and then the current ones that they have, and then they're going to do covers. That's my guess. All right. So please block tactical vigil. So if you're on Twitch, please block tactical vigil. I need new glasses. Tactical Vigil NPI 60 LBKU. If you are on Twitch, please block him. Okay. All right. When is the big hit new boy group debut? It was supposedly July, but they haven't released any news. I'm guessing August. But they've long been releasing pre-marketing. So all these leaks, they're not leaks. They were actually marketing with secret releases. So it's like Apple. Yearly, the model gets leaked. The same way for them. So this is pre-marketing. So they've been heavy. They've been going heavy on the pre-marketing. The whole group already, I mean, the people already knows everyone knows the whole group by now. So and by all indication, it seems that they're going to be a popular group. So probably August. Okay, next. I think that's my last one. And then we can go to Bang Shiyuk. First, do you have questions? I'm glad I'm witnessing the living legend BTS. Wouldn't it be nice if like any BTS member would do like a Hollywood movie? I hope V actually entertains the thought. Of course, my hope is Jin. It's just that Jin specifically said that he's not interested anymore. So this is my speculation. This is just a speculation. I'm not sure if I'm correct. I think Jin is just really happy where he is. And then I also think that he has a lot of businesses. So, having to like attend to the different businesses, maybe in his mind, like I won't have enough time to do all of these things. So, Cat's Eye in Boston. Why Boston? Why don't you come here in LA and then you meet me? Okay, no, have fun in Boston. Cat's Eye will probably do like XG, and each member will do a solo cover. Yeah, probably. Suga will be a great villain. Yeah, I will finish my book and then okay. So I think so after the holidays, I think I can really commit to doing a live that is like outside of BTS live. Just as the holidays, family obligations and stuff like that. Okay, Jin should do voice acting instead. Oh yeah, Jin is a businessman. Yeah, him and yeah. Okay. Whatever it is that they release, we will know. V needs to do another Jin's Kitchen. I want Jin to participate in a movie. I wanted to, but he said he doesn't want to. Like he was so definitive about it. At least to me. It was like, no, I'm not interested anymore. So JK has been working hard with his English. Okay. Well, he wants to be a global superstar. He already is, but I'm sure that he wants to release more albums. Okay, so let's talk about the Latin boy band of HYBE. Okay, so let's talk about Bang Hyuk. As you know, he has again been bombarded with many stories about his alleged stock manipulation. So fraud actually. So this last year, okay, so this week and last week as well, there have been different news articles that were published saying that his case has already been forwarded to the prosecution and that they are going to issue that they're going to actually charge him. Okay, now, before we explain this further, I know that there are other creators, as communicated by people in Patreon. There are some other creators who tackle this. So if you've already heard about it, then you're free to go. Okay, let's just before we come back to that, let's look at what's happening in their like the economic and political view of South Korea, a very small fraction of it. So they do have a new president, but Kim Gun-hee, that is the former first lady of South Korea. If you would remember, there was this huge article and scandal about her butler. So she had a butler, and this butler created a fund, a business, and this business didn't have a lot of money because the butler didn't have a lot of money, so they were basically running um a a business with no money, right? And it is backed by the former first lady. Now that's her. Now what they found out that class dismissed, they found that this fund started getting a lot of funding, a lot of money from different companies. Okay, so remember, this is not the first ladies company. This is the company of her butler. So his company started getting a lot of money, and one of the biggest donors is Kakao. Kakao, the group, not just the entertainment group. Kakao Entertainment is under Kakao. So Kakao was actually giving a lot of, and there's a lot of other companies. So even though he started with nothing, at the end of the term, right before this blew up, they ended up with billions and billions of money. So they're investigating what happened. The problem is that guy, the butler, run away. They can't find him. They don't know where he is. So if he flew to the United States of America, if he used his real name, he will be traced. The problem is if he didn't go to the United States of America, if he went somewhere else. So they can't find him right now. So the aide, the butler, Mr. Kim, founded a struggling venture, IMS, that later received large investments from firms including Kakao Mobility and affiliates of HS or Yosung Group, despite having poor financials. Prosecutors believe these companies may have invested expecting favorable treatment due to his ties to Miss Kim, which is the first lady, the former first lady. Mr. Kim has since left the country, moved his office and residence, and is suspected of trying to destroy evidence. Prosecutors plan to invalidate his passport and are seeking a renewed search and seizure warrant after the first was denied. They're pushing forward, aiming to prove illicit enrichment and abuse of influence at the highest level. Okay, so that's one. He's in Maldives. Probably in Maldives. Now the other thing, another thing that has been happening is that SM was actually formally sued by members of XO. Chen, Baekhyun, and Shumin. Okay, Chen, Baekhyun, and Shumin, they actually sued SM. They formed a subunit. They formed a unit. They called it the CBX, and it's not under SM. Now they are accusing the trio, accused the two leaders. These are the two heads of SM Entertainment right now, of withholding transparent payment records and enhancing excessive long-term contracts, prompting them to seek termination of their exclusive agreements in mid 2023. Although the dispute appeared to be resolved temporarily when the members agreed to continue EXO-related group activities under SM Entertainment, tension resurfaced months later over the distribution of revenue from their solo promotions. The conflict escalated after Baekhyun's independent label, INB 100, which also manages Chen and Shu Min, became affiliated with 100 label. SM Entertainment responded by accusing the artist of tampering, alleging they had engaged in unauthorized outside negotiations. So, these are three artists suing the company, and this is certainly not the first time the company is getting sued. TXT, one of probably the biggest boy band after BTS, but and certainly the group that actually formally broke into Japan, sued them as well. But you do not hear anything about this thing. Though, and I found this by accident. So I'm like, I thought they already resolved this, because just like what the article was saying months ago, there was already talks about these three members actually suing SM Entertainment, and then they resolved it. Now it's back, but no one is talking about it. Absolutely no one is talking about it. The only thing that people can talk about is Bang Shiyuk and this fictional allegations against him. Okay, I don't understand how anybody is willing to work with SM. You know what they said, for all the faults, and there is many, of Yi Suman, he still had the better grasp in terms of leadership. Certainly not perfect, certainly not perfect. He had faults and he had many. But according to them, compared to the current leadership, at least Yi Suman had a vision. Like the leadership right now doesn't have a vision for the artists. So, okay, SM controls a lot of media. Exactly. Like no one's talking about this. How is no one talking about three of their biggest artists suing the company? Okay. YG, also Yang Yun Suk, the founder of YG Entertainment, is getting sued. So he brought in two luxury Swiss watches worth approximately 240 million won, or 176,000 US dollars, and he didn't declare it. Now he was supposed to pay tariff. He was supposed to pay taxes when he landed, but he didn't declare it. And when it was found out that he had it, he said it was a gift and he didn't purchase it. So now what the company is saying, the watch company is saying, is that they don't give gifts. So the company said, no, we're an exclusive brand. We don't give away gifts to anybody. We might give gifts to some people, but he's not the kind of person we would give this gift to. So they're now in a legal battle. What the lawyers of Yang Yun Suk is saying is that there are too many inconsistencies with what the brand representative is saying, but they're standing their ground that it was given as a gift to Yang Yun Suk. Now, probably it was given to him as a gift. Maybe he's telling the truth, but had this happened to anybody in HYBE, it would have been a fanfare. But this, nothing, nada. Nobody's paying attention to this case. The same thing with SM Entertainment. Three of their biggest artists are actually suing them, and you do not hear a thing. Okay, I think you know what it is that I'm leading to. Okay, now going back to Yang Yun Suk in 2024, this is what happened before. Okay, this case has been ongoing for almost a year. In 2024, HYBE's founder Bang Hyuk faced accusations that he's misled investors during HYBE's IPO. That was the accusation. That he promised, or he mentioned that he wasn't going to do IPO, which prompted shareholders to sell their shares publicly. And then he went IPO. So people are saying that, well, they missed the opportunity to earn. Okay, so now HYBE actually went out and said, no, Bang actually took on the risk himself. He told everybody that if you lose money, after you lose money, I will shoulder everything if you lose money. So he didn't violate anything. They were well informed, and he even took on the risk. That's what HYBE said. Okay. So back in 2018, Bang made a private deal with SV Investment. He offered a put back option, basically saying, if you lose money, I'll personally buy back the shares. No profit, no secret payoff, just risk all on him. So that's what HYBE is saying. And they said, we can prove it. We all have the legal and financial documents to prove it. HYBE insisted that it wasn't fraud. It was Bang trying to protect early investors and stabilize the IPO. So no money was lost. Nobody lost money, meaning when they sold, they made a profit. Nobody lost money. No special advantage and no shady output. So why on earth are they trying to revive the case in 2025? Because BTS is back. In 2025, Korea's Financial Supervisory Service revived the case. They argue, this is their argument, even if no one lost money, even if nobody lost their money, not disclosing the private deal may have broken market rules. So now, Bang faces formal prosecution not because of greed, but because of lack of disclosure. So they're saying their argument is that he didn't follow what the law requires of him. Okay, now, a lot of the headline says that he is going to be sued, that they're going to indict him. Basically, indict meaning there's going to be a case that will be filed against him. We don't know yet. So the financial institution will meet on July 16th. So that's next week. They're going to meet on July 16th. They're going to deliberate, and if they think that they have enough evidence, then that's when they will indict. They will ask for Bang Shiyuk to actually go to court. Okay. But no sooner. Anybody who says that it's already done, he's going to face court, whatever, that is not true. Okay. And an FSS source, so this is the financial service, told the media that they will move him to prosecutor's investigation, but final decision will only be announced on the 16th. So anybody who claims that it is sure he's going to be indicted, he's going to be sued, that person is just trying to create noise. Do not listen to those people. So the question is, why now and why Bang Shiyuk? So I've already mentioned, we by now should see the pattern. Anytime BTS is going to make a move as a group or different members, something is going to come up. That's the plan. That has never failed us. That rhythm has never failed us. Anytime a BTS member says they're going to do something, or BTS themselves will do something, they will come out with something. And because it's a group comeback, they're gonna present something bigger because they want it to hit harder. However, there is a bigger thing, and that has something to do with the current president. South Korea, the new president, their new president said and promised that he is going to move to curb unfair stock trading. So this is a huge thing in South Korea. A lot of people are actually manipulating stocks, and they're doing insider trading because they want to get rich. Now, as you know, many journalists are getting sued, or not sued, but they are getting investigated primarily because the FSS realized that whenever this journalists write or buy a stock, they would write an article, say something good about the company, and then when the stock price goes up, they sell. So again, it's all about patterns. So they're investigating these journalists. So now that it's journalists, that's probably a small part of it. There's more out there that are really doing this illegally. And there's been many Korean movies that are tackling this problem. Now, the South Korean president is saying, I am going to go after you. We will actively utilize administrative sanctions, including payments, suspensions, fines, restrictions on financial investment products trading, and objections to certain executive appointments. That's what the palace said. The Blue House. That's what the Blue House said, not the palace, the Blue House. So they are promising they're going to go after these people that are illegally trading or taking advantage of the market or defrauding anybody just to make money out of the stock market. He promised that. He said, I'm going to go after you. So President Lee, this is the new president. If he is cleaning the financial market, the financial house, the first people he would be going after are chaebols, because they are the ones that are actually manipulating the market the hardest. The mere fact that how many days he's been in the market and has already launched investigations and launched statements against so many people, but nothing has happened in the chaebol industry, then you know this is just posturing. He is, after all, still a career politician, and he is not clean. He's not clean. Before becoming a president, he actually got involved in a case because he's manipulating whatever malpractice when it comes to campaigns. So anyway, Bang Shiyuk, of course, is an easy target, right? Um, and that's what he likes. He likes glamour. He likes the noise, because this is like a textbook political move for his from his party. That's how they actually gain momentum, and that's how they gain votes whenever they make themselves appear to be one or in favor of the poorer ones. So here, when they are able to make it appear as if they're going after the big investors, they're able to make the claim that they're fighting for the right of the poorer Koreans. Bang Shiyuk would be a good crown for them. They get someone prominent, but also keep the old rich, the chaebol, untouched. So that's what's happening with him. Unfortunately, Bang Shiyuk, they're not gonna stop. This thing is not going to stop, especially because they don't have any hold against BTS anymore. They did their military service. So what else can you ask of them? Everything that they have been asked to do in the past for free for South Korea, they did. And now they don't have any hold against them anymore. Next, they're very well aware that BTS's career is international. There's nothing they can do that would threaten the status, the fame, and the success of BTS. So they're gonna go after Bang Shiyuk. If you know the famous saying, if I can control you, I will control what people think of you. And that's what they're doing. Bow. Okay, so they're not gonna stop. However, Bang Shiyuk has very good lawyers. They're well paid. So if there's anybody who can get him out of this, it would be them, right? They're very well paid. They're the number one law firm in South Korea, and I'm sure that they have an international network They can tap PR companies. They can, whatever it is that they need, it will be at their disposal to make sure that Bang Shiyuk is able to concentrate on what he does best, and that is producing music and building his empire. So let's just watch this from a spectator point of view. But our main concern should, of course, be BTS. And they are there, they're here in the US making music. Let's just wait for that, and let them have the circus that they want. Okay. I thought the president's initiative won't affect people retroactively. That's what you thought. BTS is bulletproof. And if they doubted BTS was international, this 2 month departure from SK makes it clear. Speechless. Yeah. That I'm just glad that I think in the next the thing is that I think they're waiting for, this is just a preamble. I think once BTS actually announces their album, like there's something a bit more concrete, just watch. It's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. It has always been the mantra. If they cannot control them, they will control how people think of them. So it's nice that they have the luxury of time and luxury of money to actually stay in another country for a while. I don't mind them. It's good that they're here because I know that there's a lot of places they can go, a lot of producers that they can work with. But if they decide to go to Europe or wherever, it'll still be fine. But I'm just happy that they're away from there. I'm pretty sure that they will have to go back at some point for whatever personal reasons, or when they start their promotions. I'm sure that they will still want to show South Korea that it's still their country, that the country is very, very important to them. But I hope that majority of the promotions happen in other countries. So let's see. I think, maybe they just want BTS to shake their hands, take pictures with them. Who knows? Just move HYBE to somewhere else and let Korea tank. There shouldn't the president go after MHJ because all the media play trying to distort perception of HYBE. So Kakao's, I think this president is just going after HYBE and BTS. If they go, because Min Hee-jin positioned herself as the David and HYBE as the Goliath. If they go after Min Hee-jin, and because she's also a woman, it's going to, it can they that may be used as a media play against him. So it's better to go after the big one against the Goliath instead of going after the David. So, but I think for Min Hee-jin's case, I think, the closer we get to the conclusion of this case, the clearer it is how the decision is going to go. So I am more concerned about New Jeans. I I still wish them well. I still wish them well. Although I kind of am a little bit more convinced that I still am very, very convinced that they were brainwashed. But also at the end of it, at some point you're gonna have to say, you have to take responsibility for your actions, right? Especially because majority of them are adults except for one member. So by now they should they should they should yeah, by now I think they should know that the right decision to make, and they're not making it. So but still I still want, quite honestly, given the situation that they are in, I still want the best for them, the best that they can have given the situation that they got themselves into. I still don't wish them any ill. So I don't care about those girls. BTS brings money into SK. Their economy thrives because of BTS. Going after them is idiotic. Why would you bite the hand that feeds you? I feel they should pack up and leave. Oh my, I will see the replay. Acciones tienen I don't know. Acciones tienen. Oh, actions have consequences. Did I get that right? Actions have consequences. Nothing can come between us and BTS. And I think that's what's pissing everybody off. It's like they can't destroy BTS because BTS's strength is not in SK, it's in other markets. And especially in the West, not just the US, but like Europe, especially in Europe. Like nobody cares about these things, right? We don't care who they date. We don't care about anything like that. So how can you destroy someone whose fans don't really care for much? So, like what can you do? Like if let's be honest, even if they get into some kind of like, I don't know, financial trouble, I still wouldn't care. Like for Bruno Mars has been, there's a lot of talks about him going bankrupt and whatever. It doesn't affect the fact that we're still impressed with Bruno Mars, right? In South Korea, you get into a talk like that, into a scandal like that, you're done for. But here, it's like, who cares? We see a lot of our favorites getting into drugs, getting into a relationship, getting out of a relationship, and then going into another relationship. We don't still care. So what is there's so few, there's really really extreme things that will make us not a fan of someone that we admire musically. So practically invincible. Okay, BTS is untouchable. They can try to destroy army. Sorry, the girls, no matter how old they are, haven't shown any remorse for all their destructive actions. Lorena. Okay, we are, in order to hurt BTS, they need to hurt armies. The US Army will welcome them here. Yeah, I don't care about any. Really. Like I not I don't care. Okay, envy does strange things to people. All right. We are at 2 hours. So thank you for joining. I will do a live, probably non-BTS. Maybe I'll still mention some BTS, especially if there's like an important news or something. Most likely Friday. I'm excited. I hope that you are too. I'll try to do it as early as I can. The only thing that will get in the way would be the heat because it might be too hot for me to do anything in the afternoon. But I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. If you have requests for topics, whatever, just send it in and please watch out for my videos. Thank you. Oh, another announcement. I started my membership. So there are some exclusive videos that I will be releasing for members in YouTube, and my first video is going to be released this Friday as well for them. Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye. Bye.